Hola! Hello, welcome to our Spanish lesson for today. Let's get straight on and see what we're going to be doing today. So, first of all, we're going to be recapping those numbers up to 100 and then using our new hundreds words up to 1,000. And finally, using all of those new words, all of those new numbers words to start to put together some four-figure numbers in words. First of all, you're going to need a little bit of equipment to help you with our learning today. You're going to need some paper to write on and a pen or a pencil to write with. So if you don't have those in front of you, run off and get them now, pause the video, and then play when you've got those things. Very good. So first of all, let's recap our numbers up to 100. You can see them all here. So you have numbers 1 up to 22 in full, but you don't have every single number there because the rest of them just follow patterns. So you know how to say 21 and 22. If you want to say 23 or 24, 25, all you do is you take the word for 21, 21, take off the uno, and then add on the one that you need. So if you want to say 25, take off the uno and add cinco, 25. Then the last column on the right there, you have all the new tens. You have 30 for 30, and then 32 for 32. That's the only one you need because you know that all the others follow the same pattern. If you want to say 38, for example, take out the dos and put ocho in, 38. Then you have 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 for all the other tens. And there are no examples for those ones because they just follow the same pattern as the 30s. You put E for and after them and then the number of ones. So 88, 80, y 8. Finally, we've got the number 100. Remember, 100 by itself, 100, is 100, but as soon as it's 100 and something, 101 through to 199, then it has to be ciento. So what I would like you to do is to pause the video and make yourself any notes that you need to for these numbers to help you to remember them. That might mean writing the words down, having a little practice saying them to yourself. When you've done that, press play and we'll carry on. Right then, let's do a little bit of practice of those numbers up to 100. What I would like you to do on your piece of paper is to number 1 to 10. Pause the video while you do that. All done? Numbered 1 to 10? We're going to do a bit of listening practice. I'm going to say the number in Spanish, and all you need to do is to write down the figures to show which number it is. So, for example, if I say once, you're going to write down 2 ones to show 11. Okay, let's get started. Number 1, 37. 37. 37. By the way, you can pause the video at any time to give yourself a bit more thinking time. Number 2, 50. 50. 50. Number 3, 16. 16. 16. Number 4, 79. 79. 79. Number 5, 82. 82. 82. Number 6, 24. 24. 24. Number 7, 61. 61. 61. Number 8, 93. 93. 93. Number 9, 5. 5. 5. And number 10, 48. 48. 48. Right, are you ready to see the answers? Here we are. So in green are all the answers. Just press pause while you mark your work. So how did you get on? Did you get some of those right? Fantastic listening. Well done. So let's come on then to our numbers up to 1,000 this time. Escuchad y repetid. 100. 100. 200. 200. 300. 300. 400. 400. 500. 500. 600. 600. 700. 700. 800. 800. 900. 900. 1000. 1000. So there's all of our hundreds words. Remember when we looked at this in class, we saw that there were actually 2 different forms for each of these hundreds, weren't there? For example, we saw that alongside 200, there is also 200. Can you remember the difference between those 2 different forms? That's right. 200 is used if you're counting something that you know is definitely all masculine or mixture of masculine and feminine. 200 is the one that you would use if you're counting something that you know definitely is all feminine. To be honest, we're going to use the masculine a lot more than we're going to be using the feminine form, but you need to know it exists just in case. Let's have a go now of counting in the hundreds from 100 to 1,000. Are you ready, all of us together? Here we go. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1000. Not bad. Let's try again. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1000. Very good. Let's have a go then of using some of those numbers to put together some 4-figure numbers in Spanish. Here's one: 1,284. So, starting with the thousands, then the hundreds, then the tens, then the ones. So, first of all, we need to say 1,000. What's that? That's right, 1000. Then 200. So, what will come next? 200. And then on the end, we need to say 84. How do we do that? That's right, 84. In English, we say 1,284. So in English, the and comes before the hundreds and the tens. In Spanish, though, the only place and is allowed is between tens and ones, like 84. If there's no tens and units as separate numbers, there's no and in the Spanish number. Okay, we don't want any extra e's creeping into our numbers. Let's try another one. 1,738. So what will we need first? Yep, mil. Then how do we say 700 again? 700. And then 38. 38. 1738. There's the E in between tens and ones again. Let's try another one. Oh, this is going to be tricky. 1,513. So how are we going to start it off? That's right, mil. How do we say 500? That's one of our ones that doesn't follow the pattern, isn't it? 500. Now, how do we say 13? It's one of those numbers that's one word, isn't it? Can you remember what it is? 13. That's right, not 13 or anything like that. 13. Can you see this one has no E for and? Because there's no separate tens and ones, so we can't put an E in. So 1513, 1513 in English, but there's no and in Spanish. Oh, look at this one. More than 1,000. We've got 3,000. But you know the word for three. You know the word for thousand. How are we going to say 3,000? You've got it. 3,000. Simple as that. Then the next bit is 600. How will we do that bit? 600. 27. That's another of our numbers that's all one word, isn't it? 27. The E is in the middle of that word, isn't it? 27. Oh, and here's another one with lots of thousands. This time it's 9,000. How do we say 9,000? You know 9, you know 1,000. 9,000. Right? What about 400? How do we say 400? 400. And then on the end, 46. And you remember what that is? 46. So 9,446. 9,446. Very good. So you're going to need to use those hundreds words and thousand words in the next activity that we're going to do. So you need to make sure you've got a list of those written down. So here are all of our hundreds words going down to 1,000. What I would like you to do next is to pause the video and make a list of those on your piece of paper, please. The numbers and the Spanish words too. Press play again when you're ready to restart. Right, so we are going to do a writing activity now, where you're going to be looking at some important dates from Spanish history. You might have known about some of these, but there might well be some that you didn't know about. What I would like you to do, I'd like you to pause the video and then have your best go of writing out in words how we would say these dates. Now, it's actually more straightforward than you think, because it's not like it is in English at all. For example, Christopher Columbus discovers the Americas. In English, we would say 1492. However, in Spanish, you just stick with 1492. When Spain won the World Cup, we would say either 2010 or 2010. In Spanish, always thousands, hundreds, tens and ones, so 2010. So pause the video, have a go at writing those in words and press play when you're ready to check your work. Here we go. Here's the answers. So the Moorish invasion of Spain, the Moors were the ones responsible for all the ch and th sounds in Spanish. So 711 is 711. So there's no E because we've got no separate tens and ones there. Christopher Columbus discovers the Americas in 1492, 1492, 1492. And then if you watch Horrible Histories, you'll know all about Philip II of Spain. he married Mary I of England. Mary I, of course, was Elizabeth I's big sister. And they got married in 1554. Then the Spanish Civil War began in 1936. In Spanish, we would say 1936. And the winner of the Spanish Civil War was the dictator Francisco Franco, and he died in 1975. 1975. Then, very important event in Spain was when the Olympics were held in Barcelona in 1992. 1992. Then, coming into the current millennium, Leonor, Princess Leonor, who's the heir to the Spanish throne, was born in 2005. So we would just say for that one, 2005, because we've got no hundreds, no tens. So we just put the ones on the end, and there's no E because there's no separate tens and ones. And our last important date was when Spain won the World Cup in 2010. So 2000, 2010, 10, stick that on the end, and there you are. Some interesting dates there, aren't there? Did you know about some of those? And how did you get on with your writing? You can pause the video if you want a bit more time to check your work. So your final task then for this lesson, here's a number builder on the left, showing you the flow, if you like, of how to put together these big numbers in Spanish. And what I would like you to do, like the instructions say, use the number builder to help you to write 10 four-figure numbers in Spanish and in figures. Don't forget to follow the arrows. If you don't follow the arrows, you won't get it right. So I've done an example for you at the bottom, 2,345. And I've put the green boxes around the words that I need. So I need some thousands first. So 2,000, then 300, 300. Then I need some tens, and it's 40, so I need to go up at the top, 40. That's always joined to the units by E, so we put y5 on the end. So 2,345 to make that number. You get to choose which 10 four-figure numbers you're going to do, so you can make them as easy or as challenging as you like. So pause the video, see what you can do with those 10 four-figure numbers, and press play when you're ready to finish. So how did you get on with your 10 four-figure numbers? Have you got some really good ones? Did you enjoy putting those together? You've worked really hard today. You've done a lot of different activities. Muy bien. Buen trabajo. So, adios until our next lesson.